This week on the Rangeless Travel Podcast, we are here to influence and maybe a little bit of de-influence you on the products you will and won't need for your dogs when you're moving into a van or you're going traveling with your pet. Welcome back to the Rangeless Travel Podcast. We're your favorite adventure travel hosts. I'm Britt, and this is Ryan. Together, we travel the world by plane, train, and 89 Ford Sportsmobile, capturing the beauty, adventure, and culture in every corner of the globe. Currently, we're traveling the U.S. in an old van with our two dogs, Layla and Cedar. Every Tuesday, we share stories and tips to inspire you to book that next trip. So go ahead and don't be shy. Follow along with us at Rangeless_ on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Let's dive in.
We travel with two dogs in our camper van full time. So we've tried a few different things and then we've kept a few things and we've added a few things that we really, really like. Number one for me is the tractive GPS tracker for Cedar because Cedar likes to escape.
Yeah, so we have two dogs, Layla and Cedar. Layla's almost 10. And she's blind. And she's like an Australian Shepherd Border Collie mix.
And she's not really a wanderer.
Then we have Cedar, who's 9 years old. So he's also a senior dog. But he's very vivacious for a 9-year-old dog. He's like, I don't know, he's brown. He's a brown dog.
He's a mix of all things.
And he is an escape artist. And if I'm not
watching him,
he's an opportunist is what he is. If I'm not watching him all the time, he will, in fact, take off. You cannot see him right now because he's just off screen. If you're watching us on YouTube or you're watching us on Spotify, if you're just listening, just trust that
he's right here.
He's right here, sleeping, pretending like he's good all the time.
Yeah.
So,
but if we turned our backs for 5 minutes on him, he'd be down. We're on the beach right now, and he'd be all the way down the beach sniffing something or...
Yeah. So before we even took off, we got this for him. Let's see. Come here. Oh, come here, big boy.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's quite large, actually. This is a bigger one that I got. It's a tracker. It just fits on their collar, and it's rechargeable. This one lasts about 30 days on the charge because we have the Wi-Fi in the van. So if it's near the van Wi-Fi, it doesn't use its GPS. Wherein if he goes missing, I can just automatically turn it on. It'll tell me exactly where he is in real time, and I can go and get him.
Yeah, I like it because it has an app that goes with it. And you pull up the app, and you can literally follow him. And it's funny because I took him on a walk this morning. I'm sorry, Cedar. Here you go. You can go back over there. I took him on a walk this morning, and we saw another dog wearing the same thing, like same color and everything. And my first thought was like, oh my God, someone loves their dog so much, just like us. Like they want to make sure that they have them for safety. And then I was like, they're an escape artist. Cedar, do you know that dog? Do you know that dog? So yeah, that's what we love it. Can't recommend it enough. It's a must-have for us when we're traveling, and even if we weren't traveling, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 2 on our list is the dog food container. Before we feed the dogs, like where we store all the food in the van, like long-term. It's called a Gamma 2. We just got it like 2 weeks ago from PetSmart.
Yeah, because we had a different container and it had like a lid and like it was just...
It didn't fit, first of all. Like it was in the way of the toilet in the van and all of that.
But because we're in the van, we are like outdoor living, right? So there's mice, there's ants, there's flies, and there's everything. So this protects it from all of that, so we don't have to worry about bugs and rodents getting into the dog food or it attracting the rodents and bugs into the van.
Yeah, this thing is sealed. You close it, it's done.
The next thing is their water bowl.
Yes.
So we had just a normal dog water bowl, but the problem was when we'd be driving down the road, we would either have to empty it, and then they'd have no water, and then every time we'd stopped, it was just like another thing we had to add to our list. Or
it would spill everywhere.
And then plus, then you have to like hold them and be like, would you like some water now? So we got a special bowl that's like an anti-spill bowl. It has like a couple pieces, but it's still easy to clean. Yeah. We love it. When we get somewhere, we just like take the pieces that keep it from spilling out.
Yeah, when we're not driving anymore.
When we're not driving, but then when we are driving, we just stick it back on and they drink out of it just fine. We love it. We got the biggest size, so I think it holds like almost a liter of water.
Yeah, it's a lot. But Layla drinks a lot, but she's also blind, and she drinks out of it just fine.
Yeah, she finds it. It's not a big deal.
We both really like it. The hands-free leash for Mr. Cedar here.
Yeah, I've had this leash for Cedar for probably almost like 5 years now. I originally bought it for him so we could go running together because it was just like, I didn't want to hold a leash, so it just goes around my waist.
Yeah.
And I hang his little like dog poopy bags from it.
Yeah, the little holder for the
And
poop
it just
bag.
makes it easier when we have both of them and like one of us is walking them so that like one is hands free and the other one I can lead. Particularly with Layla being blind, she needs a little bit of like guidance and leading. So she goes on the leash that I hold my hand on and I like guide her with my hand, where and then Cedar just goes hand free and he just like lives his
and it
lives
also,
his life.
It makes it easy when one person's walking them too, rather than 2 leashes.
That's what I
like
was
that.
saying.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay. The tie down, like the harness and the tie down that when we're set up in a camp, some people, like, I don't know, we tie down the dogs.
We always have them on leash for the most part, unless I am actively watching them, like if I'm playing fetch with them or something like that is going on, which happens quite often.
Yeah.
And then then I don't worry about having them on a leash. But
Because
if we're doing something, they're on leash.
Yeah.
They're on leash. So the tether works. I think it's like a 10-foot.
It's longer than 10 foot. It's like 20-foot tether. And you just screw it into the ground.
Or attach it around something.
You can attach it to the van, whatever you need to do. And they're able to move around outside the van. They can come in and out of the van with it on.
Yeah.
And it just gives them space, and you don't have to constantly be watching them. If we're in the van, we don't obviously tie them up or anything. But unfortunately, you come across a lot of people that don't tie up their dogs, and we just like ours to be on leash at all times.
Because neither one... Well, Layla's blind, and she'll just kind of like wander because she tries to map out her surroundings. But if we're someplace big like a beach, like it's not easy for her to map it out, so she'll just like keep walking. And then for Cedar, he just kind of gets bored and he's like, I'm gonna go see what's up and what's around and see if there's any dogs.
Likes other dogs a lot.
Yeah, too much. So he's not at 100% recall. So because of that, he's not off leash.
Yeah. Next thing that you absolutely love is the shower scrubber that we wash them with.
Oh, I love the shower. I bought them this like little, literally off like Amazon or Temu or like something like that. It's this little scrubber, and they're so hard to get wet. So being in a van, we don't have that much water all the time. No. So if I need to bathe them, it takes so much water to bathe the dogs. Yeah. So this scrubber, like, just like you can put the soap in it and it like gets underneath that like top coat so I can actually get them clean. It's so good.
Yeah, because when you try and wet Cedar, he's like, it's like water off
like
a duck's back. Yeah, just runs off him. Layla's a little bit different, but yeah.
Even still, it takes so much water.
Easier.
It's a really good little
so much
like
easier. Yeah.
doodad to do them. And then I also have a hiking backpack for Cedar that I love. He wears it when we go running, and like I put poop bags in there, and if he gets the runner's poops. Does anyone else's dogs get the runner's poops, or is it like just
He just
mine?
Gets too excited.
Yeah, I don't know. But I digress on Cedar's running poops. But he'll go to the bathroom a lot, and like if we're on like we did a 4-mile run this morning, that's like not fun to be running holding a poop bag.
No.
So I put them inside his backpack and it's good to go. Also, if we go on like a bigger hike or something, it's nice to be able for him to carry his own stuff and also a little bit of Layla's things. So then like we don't have to do it. So I have like 2 small water bottles that are the same size and they fit into each side of his little backpack, which makes it even. They're not big. I think they're like 16 ounces. They're not big. And then a collapsible bowl that I also put in there. And then I can put like poop bags in there. I can put some dog treats in there. I can put some dog food in there depending on how long we're going. Because if you're taking your dog on a hike, just like you like snacks, dogs like extra snacks too.
Yeah.
So just things like that. So I really like his hiking backpack, and it's also like his little running backpack.
Yeah, I think that's great.
You can also just use it like a harness. So if you're tethering your dog outside, you're not supposed to put them tethered outside on their normal collar. Neither one of them really pull. And to be quite honest, I usually always have like a side eye on them. I'm not like leaving them on the tether and like completely leaving. So they tend to be fine with just the collar around them. But if your dog is a puller, or if you have a more active dog or a younger dog, I'd highly recommend, if you're going to use the tether, please use a harness. But every dog's different, so like you just use your best judgment.
Yeah. Then obviously we're in a van and we got limited space, so the dogs are on pretty much all the furniture. Like, so we have...
They're on everything.
We made custom covers for all the seats, the futon behind us, but we also put blankets on everything because, well, the covers are really nice.
Yeah, and they were really hard to make, so like we don't want them getting messed up. But also, it's just easier. Like being in a van, we're living outside, right? And also remember, like even if you're in a house, my kind of opinion in this, and this can be different than yours, but my opinion is a dog's world's usually kind of small. You know, they go outside, maybe they go for a walk, maybe they go to the dog park, they come inside, and like that's really it. That's all the places they really get to go. And now in a van, you know, we're going all these different places. We always are in the woods and the beach, wherever. Mm-hmm. But like where their actual, like their spaces is small. We're in a van. I'm not about to make their world smaller by telling them they're not allowed on things, right?
Yeah.
So being in a van with the dogs just means they're allowed everywhere. They can be anywhere they want.
There's nowhere else to put them.
There's nowhere else to put them. It'd just be like the floor, and then we can't walk, right?
Yeah.
So they're on the futon. We just cover it with blankets. It's not a big deal. The blankets are easier to pull off and wash than it is to like scrub a van. And in reality, like weather is going to be different. There's going to be mud. Right now we're at the beach. There's sand. There's salt. There's sometimes it's wet. Like they're stepping in muddy, sandy stuff. They're bringing it in. We're just gonna wash the blankets when we get somewhere.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Now, one thing that we both are looking into, we haven't decided yet, but we're very interested in it, is Waggle is an example that we keep getting the ads for.
Every time I log onto any social media, like I'm on TikTok or Instagram or like any of them, I'm getting thrown Waggle ads like left, right, and center. Like they know. My phone's sitting somewhere. It's probably listening right now. I'm going to open it up and it's going to be like more Waggle, more Waggle.
Yeah, so Waggle is a like car temperature tracking device that links to your phone and you pay a subscription and it uses the cell. You don't need Wi-Fi or anything. It uses like the cell service to tell you the temperature in the vehicle.
Yeah, because which is good. As I read somewhere, I forget how long it takes from a car to go from like hot but safe to like hot and dangerous, but it's very short. Like it can go like that within minutes. So we typically don't leave them in here for very long, but there are times where we have to go to the grocery store. We have to go to Planet Fitness. We have to do things that is not dog friendly. And it's just better to be able to tell. Because right now, like we'll just like go early morning or go in the evening.
Yeah, that's how we usually mitigate it. Or one of us will stay behind. One of us will go. We'll pop the top and open all the vents and then turn on the fan and all of that. And it's actually quite cool in here. Like it's comfortable in here when we do that.
We make it work, but it's nice to be able to know.
It's peace of mind more than anything.
It's really peace of mind. So that's something that we're looking into. So if you've tried it, please let us know. Or if you are Waggle.
And you want to sponsor us.
What's up? What's up, Waggle? We would love to review it for you.
Now some things that like people get, but we think are not really necessary.
Yeah, let's de-influence a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when you get a dog, or you have a dog and you're going to transition into a van, or you're taking your dog on a road trip or a camping trip, or you're already living like a nomadic lifestyle, or you're already traveling in a van and you're thinking about getting a dog, right? They're throwing so many things at you. Like they're saying you need everything, everything, and you don't. Now, first and foremost, every dog is going to be different because every dog has different needs. If you adopt an adult dog, which I highly think that's great and would recommend doing, they may have different pasts and they're going to need different things, right? So take this with a grain of salt. This is just our opinion. And these are just the things that work for us and our dogs.
Yes.
First things first.
All the toys.
All the toys. They don't need it. They don't need all the toys.
Cedar is a toy lover.
Yeah, our one dog is a toy lover. Cedar, brown dog, loves toys. Layla has never liked toys, even when she was a baby. She was like, I just don't care about your silly toys. You can feed me a snack and like rub behind my ears, please. Yeah. That'd be so much better.
Yeah.
Cedar, on the other hand, loves a toy. But I quickly found out with Cedar that if he has more than like one toy, he just like would destroy them. As he's gotten older, he doesn't do that as much.
Yeah.
But if he just has one toy, he'll keep up with it. Like, he doesn't lose it. He carries it around. He enjoys it.
Yeah.
So
But that's not every dog. Some dogs will destroy all their toys no matter what.
Yeah. Not Cedar, though.
No.
When we were at my mom's house for a few months fixing up the van and, like, making some adjustments to it, Cedar acquired more toys than I think he's ever had. So right now what I've done is I've pulled out 2 toys and a tennis ball. So he has 3 options. The rest of them I've shoved in the back of one of our closets. And as those get like used and worn, I'll just pull them out. Or lost, I'll just pull them out.
Yeah.
So that's our opinion.
That's what we have for now, yeah. And yeah, I think that's enough for him. He's more than happy. Next thing is doggy rain jackets.
Yeah, you just...
I don't think they need them. I don't think they need them.
Just let them get wet. That's why you have blankets on the couch.
Yeah.
You have blankets on the couch. Ours do have 1 sweater apiece because sometimes it gets cold.
Yes.
But anything more than that, you don't really need. I've seen people get like dog hiking shoes because asphalt and different things can be hot on their feet.
Ours won't wear them.
Ours won't wear them.
They won't wear them.
They don't like them.
No.
We don't need them.
If it's that hot, we won't walk them on the asphalt. We'll keep them on the grass.
Yeah. Not all dogs need a little hiking pack either. Like Layla doesn't have one. Layla doesn't like a harness. Layla doesn't like the hiking pack. She doesn't like it. So Cedar loves it. So we have one. Cedar wears it. Layla doesn't wear one.
Yeah. And then the same thing goes for like dog treats. You don't need a huge selection of dog treats. Like, oftentimes we don't even have any, and then if we're going on, like, a hike or something, we'll pick up a bag of dog treats, a small bag, or, like, sometimes Cedar's a little bit iffy with his food, sometimes we'll throw him a treat in the food, and then we know that he likes, so that'll get him to start eating, and then once he starts, he usually is pretty good.
Yeah, and with that goes... But when I do grocery shopping, I do sometimes pick up stuff that both we as humans can eat and enjoy,
Right.
but also the dogs can have almost like a treat or like a meal topper.
Yes.
Things like sweet potatoes. Like
Yeah.
the dogs love sweet potatoes. We also love sweet potatoes. Canned chicken.
Canned fish,
tuna, sardines. I love feeding the dog sardines and they love them. I'll use them as like a treat, but like we can also eat like sardines and crackers. So like, you know, it can be for us too. What a canned pumpkin is great for dogs. Just like little things.
Yeah.
Little things.
I'm sure there's
Occasionally
more.
I'll even put like some leftover if I just make like white rice. White rice is not the best thing for dogs, but like it's not going to hurt them if occasionally they both like it. If I have a little bit of white rice, sometimes I just put it in their food. You know, they're fine.
Yeah. And like, I realized that if I get bacon and the drippings of the bacon, the doggies sometimes like a little bit of that in
Just
there.
a little bit.
Just a teeny bit, just to give them a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, they like it. He'll eat it. It's fine. Don't worry
the
about it.
food
They're
with
10.
the rest of the stuff.
They're 10. They can have whatever they want.
Yeah. One thing, especially on the road, specialized beds for dogs. We don't have the space for one, and even if we did, they have a futon, which we just refinished and re-stuffed with padding and everything. It's got 5 inches of foam. It's perfect.
They're fine.
They both love it. Yeah. You don't need it. You really don't. And then I've actually seen multiple times people bring these fold out like fence pens to keep their dogs in when they're camping. And like, I mean, if you got a huge motorhome, fair enough, but we're in a camper van and we don't have space for that kind of
We
stuff.
don't have space for it.
We use the tie down. It's a lot more compact. It's a lot easier to deal with.
And to be quite honest, Layla, I think, would just like walk into the sides and like bulldoze it until it would fall over.
Yeah.
And Cedar would just jump over it. Like it just wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't
It's not
work
good for us. I mean, maybe a little dog, but for us, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work. And with that, I've seen people bring like crates for their dogs. That's fantastic. Crate training is great. I got both of these guys when I was living in an RV. Technically, I was in my Honda Accord, and then I got the RV. But I had a young dog and a puppy, right? I had nowhere to put crates. So they're not crate trained. So even if they were, we wouldn't be able to bring a crate because
No.
some people build them into their builds. That's fantastic. Ours aren't crate trained. They are fine.
Yeah. They're more than happy without a crate. They don't need a crate. But everyone's dog is different, and every dog owner is different. So you know your dog the best, like more than anyone else. And so you kind of have to tailor everything we're saying to your dog. Everyone's is going to have different like requirements and all the things like that. Like we have a dog that's blind, so we have to take those things in consideration too. And that's pretty much it, you know?
Yeah, and then there's some things that like you should just have anyway. Like a doggy ID tag is just things that your dog should have an ID tag on them all the time anyway. Cedar's microchipped, Layla's not. So if you know you have a dog, your dog should be microchipped. Layla leave me.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really need it, but like Cedar does. So he's microchipped.
They have to have all their vaccines and
yeah,
things
make
like
sure
that.
they have all their vaccines.
Especially when you're traveling around and meeting other dogs, it's important.
Yeah. And make sure that you always have all their paperwork with them and
Yeah.
everything like that, whether it's a digital or physical
printed,
form.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
That is it. If you want more from us, you can find us at Rangeless _ on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok,
And wherever you get your podcasts.
and anywhere else you get them. Until next week.
Bye.